Good morning. This is meteorologist Steve Przanowski with your Storm Scoop Weather Briefings Extended Outlook. This is Monday, post-Thanksgiving, pre-December holidays edition. Working off that hangover of all that food, and now also some of that hangover of all that wet weather. But we're still going to remain active over the next week or two. Probably about 6 systems we need to talk about, including one that's ongoing now and into tomorrow, and lots to talk about. So let's jump in. Monday morning, 7:45. Let's do this. All right. So first talk was that blizzard that's moseyed its way through the Rockies, like we discussed, and shot its way through Iowa, parts of Illinois. And now we're dealing with a lot of this in Michigan. Is that rain snow line currently? It's about 6, almost 7 a.m. there. And you can see a lot of the changeover will be occurring soon. If I go to a live little radar loop here, here's our Penn State radar wall. You can see the final eastern counties here are beginning their approach to changing over to snow, and not too much in many of those areas. This blizzard warning, pretty much blizzard warning that is out right now, extends to basically where this rain snow line is. Even the snow that comes on the east side here as this changeover is only going to bring, we're expecting maybe an inch or two at tops. The heaviest portion of this storm is pretty much over, and the duration won't be that long. So we should maybe see some snow there for the next couple hours, maybe 4 hours or so before it pushes out. And then this system's going to push to the northeast. It's going to gain some intensity once it hits the Gulf of Maine, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So popping back into our GFS, here's the system we were just looking at. And then this pushes into the northeast, starts enhancing. This is around midnight tonight. And then mostly a rain event in the northeast, except for northern part of Maine, and then back into parts of northern New Hampshire, a little bit in Vermont, but not too much because of the track of the low, and some snows in western New York. That pushes through. Still very, very cold. I mean, look at this. Cold air is just entrenched. It's not really going anywhere right now. Snow showers in the northeast. We still have some systems that are going to come in from the western coast. We still have a pretty zonal flow, so a lot of times where they enter will be where they exit. In our discussions this week, you'll see we focus a lot on the NAO. We just don't have the blocking in place to really support a system that's going to ride up the coast, the East Coast, and bring any of those substantial snows. It's just not there. Cold air is still in place for the plain states, the Great Lakes. So they'll be battling over the next 2 weeks. Put this back into shape here. You can see some more snow showers cutting through that area. It's another system that's about to shoot over. The Rockies are going to deal with another system here. Some more snow and light in nature. And then I'm just going to let this roll. You can see a lot of these systems are very similar. Mostly rain events, but if you head into the northern parts of Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire, you'll see some areas of snow, but again, nothing significant because we don't have the blocking in place. Here's an interesting one for next week after the weekend for Denver, the foothills, and onwards. Could see a couple inches there. They just got a nice hit of snow right outside of Denver associated with this blizzard. You can see it wraps up right before making its exit. You might get some really that sharp precip shield really pops up, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And, right now it looks like a couple inches, but it could eventually turn into maybe a foot or so. And then the system really pushes on. When it goes east, it becomes pretty large. It's got the thermals here, so you'll have the cold air, and it's getting the moisture feed from the Gulf, so that will play into intensifying this storm. And then we'll have to pay attention to that 540 line. And again, you can see pushing through a lot of mostly rain events, but again, a lot of the same areas, and we talked about this last week. I think this will be the boundary, the battlegrounds for much of the coming season. with the colder air of the deeper winter, even though we have pretty cold air now, it can still get colder. We might see more snow, and that's why we put that in our winter outlook, because that's what we envision happening, and we could already see this happening here. So more systems out west, and then we'll hit our limit here. And again, this is now 2 weeks out, so we're not going to play around with this, but some fun stuff. I think there's 6 or 7 systems in the next 15 days or so that that'll definitely keep us busy. So keep an eye on here. Gonna get very in depth with a lot of weather stuff this week. So check in and check in often. And if you are a member of our servers, please keep your wall up and running because it's going to be busy. I am meteorologist Steve Krasinowski with Weather Brief.